Good morning. Thank you for joining VirtualPBX-admin training. For those of you who may be vConsole customers, we no longer offer the live trainings for vConsole. However, the trainings are still available on our website. So if you look up here, virtualpbx.com, if you mouse over support, and you go over vConsole support, which is where I am here, you scroll down, and this training right here at the very end on the right, this is the advanced admin training video, which is the complete training for vConsole. And if you scroll further down, you've got specific guides for various features, as well as documentation for various devices. Likewise for Dash, under Dash support, which is what we'll be covering today. The full training is here under new user training. And that's on the left. And then further down, again, we have the guides for individual features as well as for various devices that you may want to do or use. All right, and then let's go ahead and get logged in. So in this case, we're going to go to the Dash login page. Excuse me. All right, so this is our login page. Need your email address, your password, and your account name, which is typically your company name. In my case, this is a test account. You can always choose to remember you, and then if you ever forget your password, you can just click on Forgot Your Info. And then wait for the whole page to load up. It can take a little time. And I only say that because I'm an impatient person. So, all right, and this is your main dashboard page. Now, you have a couple of places of navigation within Dash. First, up here on the top right, we have the 3 horizontal line icon or the hamburger menu. And the first option is dashboard, which is what we're on. You have your queues if you make use of ACD queues, blacklists to manage your blacklist, basically to block people from calling your system. Your fax manager, so as an admin, you can get to any user fax box and see all the faxes that are in that. Recordings link to view your call recordings. The user portal, which is what all your standard users view. Basically, they can see their voicemails. They can set up call recording for themselves. Voicemail manager, again, you can get to all the voicemails. And then webhooks, if you're making use of APIs, which is a special feature of Dash, you would use that. And then your other main navigation is off of the dashboard itself on the left-hand side here. So on the dashboard, first, we've got your total users. These are what I refer to as fully featured users. These are people who make and receive phone calls. They can use a variety of devices, VoIP phones, cell phone landlines. For cell phone and landlines, they do receive calls on those devices. They cannot make outbound calls from those devices. They have features including hot desking. They can have their own conference bridge, their own fax box, among others. Down below, or just below them, we have agents. These are people specific to ACD queues. These are people who are typically only receiving phone calls, right, like a help desk, call center, that sort of thing. They are restricted to only VoIP devices, so physical VoIP phone, a soft phone application, or the web phone. The web phone is a device only that's only available for our Dash customers. It makes use of a web browser, right now that's Chrome and Firefox, on a desktop or laptop computer to make and receive calls. But yeah, agents don't have any features like voicemail, no call forwarding, just straight, they pick up calls. And that's why agents have a lower per agent cost than users, because they're already associated with just a queue, which has their own costs as well. Next up, we have total devices. These are all the devices on your account, broken out by type. Unregistered devices just means that the system does not know if they're actually connected or not to us. Usually that means a VoIP phone that's not powered up or not connected to a network. Could be a landline or cell phone as well. Over here to the right, we have our main numbers. So these are the main phone numbers that customers call to contact us. These numbers all behave the same way. So they have the same main greeting, and they will all route the same way initially. Next up, we have the fax box number. This is so you can receive inbound faxing. Total numbers, assigned numbers, and spare numbers. Basically, assigned numbers means these are numbers that you're using. They go someplace. They're your main numbers. They're a number that go directly to a specific user or to your ACD queue or one of your ring groups. Spare number means it's not going anywhere. It's just a number you're keeping on your account for future use. But you are still being billed for those if you're over your account limit. Excuse me. All right. Phone numbers are again broken down here between, in this case, US DID, meaning US local numbers, versus US toll-free numbers. If you had international numbers, they would also be a separate line for that. And then below that, we have some additional information about your account. You can download the company directory, which is basically the users you have on your account. You have your account realm, your account ID. This is actually your account number. So you could use that in reference to refer yourself to us in terms of, you send an email, this is my account number, I need help, or I have a billing question. If you call into us, our support and billing teams aren't going to ask you for that number. They're going to ask you for your company name. By far the easiest thing to look up. The account realm, this is what you use for setting up third-party devices. So like a soft phone from, say, Counterpass, or a VoIP phone that you don't see that's on our auto-provisioning options. It's also used for outbound faxing. It's the domain they use for the email. And a new feature, I believe as of this week, might have been as of last week, right here, is the store discount code. Basically, all Dash customers, you automatically get a discount in our store because you're our customer. All right, up top, here is your company caller ID. This is something the system wants to have set up. So if you're a new sign up, it's going to be a red banner saying, please set up your company caller ID. Click on one of your phone numbers, company caller ID name or CNAME. This is 15 characters, including spaces and special characters. It gets transmitted out to the various carriers who support CNAME. So then when you make an outbound call from your VoIP devices, that CNAME information is transmitted out as well. Couple caveats to be aware of. First and foremost, not every carrier in North America supports CNAME. So if a call happens to route through one of those carriers, your CNAME information does not go through. Even for those carriers who do support CNAME, it's their least priority in terms of data transmission, right? Their first priority is connect the call, right? That's every telecom's, first priority, connect call, right? Second priority is the caller ID information. And then last, the CNAME. So if they're having higher than expected call volume, CNAME is the first thing they drop off, or if they're having some type of maintenance. And the last concern is that if you're calling someone who programs their contacts into their phone, whatever the local device has programmed will supersede anything we send to them. Right, company emergency E911 address. So basically from a VoIP phone, you pick up, you hit 911, This is the address by default we send to emergency services. So obviously you want to make sure this is correct. If you have remote staff, each staff members can have their own E911 based on their device. And then you click on Save Changes. All right. All right. Hold music. This is basically hold music for the account. Hold music meaning call has come in and connected to somebody, and they press the hold button on their phone. You have file. I already have a bunch of files up here, but if you want to upload, the Dash actually accepts .wav, .wav, or .mp3 files. When uploading to a phone system, you want to make sure you record it in mono, not in stereo. And the main reason for that is when you listen to things over the phone, it's in mono. And when you have a stereo file trying to go over a mono channel, all you're going to hear is a lot of static. Right now, the file size is limited to 1 megabyte. Our engineers are working on increasing that. For your reference, a 1 megabyte MP3 is roughly 5 minutes. And again, if you save changes, click Save Changes. All right, we're going to go to Hours, which is part of the main number section. And actually, it looks like no one has shown up. So I'm going to go ahead and end the training now.